We're getting the garden planted today. So we're pretty much going to make this the kale and salad garden. European mix blend. Arugula. Kale. Blue curled Scotch kale. Swiss chard, 5-color, silver beet. We've got the wild lettuce mix. And over here, we've got radishes. And then along the edge, cilantro that ties in with the arugula here due to this channel of water. So it's a constant wet line. Right there. Bam. Got the trees getting pruned up. All the apple trees. Just pruned up these trees. These are lilacs. They bring in the hummingbirds. This lilac trimmed up too. So basically, we're taking straw that's growing on the hill, and then I'm using that to cover up my fresh seeds here in the garden. That is correct. There is some gear going in the ground today. And over here, we've got peas galore, lining both sides of this log all the way down, and then also surrounding all 3 of those stumps here. And then we've also got peas this whole line here growing up the side of the lattice. So it's just about the rotational cropping, getting in what you can, the cold weather stuff. Get that growing, get it harvested, get it canned, get it jarred, get it ate. And then as soon as the different weather comes, you plant the different plants. Works out pretty well. Just a beautiful day for it. We're also splicing, taking cuts off the tree. This one right here is a Honeycrisp. It's planted last year. All of this was planted last year in June, and by August we had over 20 apples due to the compost that it was planted in. All of them were planted in forest humus that we gathered from about 20 acres that way. True forest humus. So what we're doing is we're grafting. Liberty. We're going to graft right into that. These are looking good. These are looking real good. This is what you call pruning the right way. You train the trees to grow to your own liking. If you can only reach this high, only grow your trees that high. Famous words of Paul Gauchi. Look at the buds on this thing. This tree.
Every single branch tip gets pruned, and it stimulates that when you prune. And so you go through, you find out, see how there's all these little stumps from last time? Just a little cut will stimulate that to grow. So you just go from the inside all the way up the tree. That's a dead branch, so you take that off. This tip's a little funky, so make it smooth.
Yeah. This one here's a gala tree. Gala apples. We're right here by this creek that runs from the top of the mountain up there. Way up there. That water runs down. This water has been tested. It's right around 200 parts per million. Pretty clean. Then it just runs right on down. Literally at the bottom of the hill, that is compost tea.
Absolutely.
We should be collecting that and feeding everything with it. But nature kind of does it for us.
Tape.
So what are we grafting into this? Gala.
A Liberty.
Liberty into a gala. Cool. So the purpose of this is what? To self-pollinate?
Self-pollinate once the bees are gone. Notice I said are gone. This wind from the different varieties will blow and pollinate each other. So
Okay.
then there'll be two varieties on there, and then it'll pollinate and get higher yield.
So the pollen from one tree has a shorter distance to blow to pollinate the fruits.
So then, yes, it's a microclimate here, then it just self-pollinates. Tape maybe first.
You're just making sure the cambium layers are touching, right?
Yes,
I can hold this.
I got it. It's holding right there.
Go get the tape. And we're going to tape it up, which helps it just hold together.
Field garlic.
Oh, some field garlic?
Huh?
We'll eat that.
Wild garlic, yeah.
Here comes the Elvis.
Oh yeah, I got to run. Hey, you just simmer down.
He thoroughly enjoys it. What's up, bud?
Where's your bowl?
That is pretty cool. And so the sun will heat up that black tape. Keep it warm inside there too.
Yep. Pulls it together, and then we'll leave that to hold it the first year, but then that'll come off next year.
Grafted.
So now this will be pollinated even if the bees are killed, when the bees are killed.
Well, hopefully we'll be the last to lose them out here. There's not a lot of peeps out here.
But, you know.
And how cool would it be to have two different apples coming off the same tree? That's the cool part.
Yep. In the first year, if this produces an apple, we'll have to take it off.
Okay. First year you pull the apple if it produces. Because of the weight, right?
Yes. That way it gives it time to heal, and then next year you can just let it'll produce a lot.
That's awesome. Now this one down here, this one is a Gala.
This one's a Liberty too.
Royal Gala.
Is it? Oh, that is a Gala one. Okay. Oh, those two are
This one's doing really good. Look at the girth of it. Need to get some geodes put around these. And when it rains, the water just feeds on down. All those minerals. This tree's got a lot of buds. These trees were just planted last summer, not even last spring. I mean, when was it? June?
Yeah, early
June, July, something like that?
Early June.
Early June? I mean, they came from a nursery. They were in, what, 5-gallon pots probably? 3 gallons? 7 gallons?
Yeah, 7 gallons. Maybe a couple of them are in some 3s.
Yeah, I thought maybe something. But yeah, they weren't, you know, they were doing great at the nursery. Nursery took good care of them, but we bought the last of what they had.
Well, they kind of got pollinated while they were there.
They sure did. They all got pollinated because they were bunched up together with all the other fruit trees. So all the cross pollination happened. All the, you know, all the flowers got pollinated. That's probably why we had 30 apples last year. But the fact that the root could support, right, it had the nutrients available. It had everything. It had the fungus, the bacteria from the forest.
Forest nature. I mean, it has the forest microbes and fungi, and 7.0 pH underneath the wood chips, which all nutrients can be absorbed at that pH.
Right, they can go either way. I just think it's so cool. Look at the structure of this tree, how they're reaching up. Look at that. Look at how these branches just... So this is 2021. I guess in 2031, these trees will be huge. About 10 years from now, I'll take another video and we'll check these things out and we'll look back on this and say, wow. And this whole entire island here is going to be a food forest. All this grass that you see will be mulched all the way to the creek and to the driveway. All mulch. Got all this area mulched already. This isn't regular mulch, this is wood chips that was sat around for a year, never treated, never sprayed with dyes, just regular wood chips, decomposed mulch. This right here, cut down a tree. Oh, that's Elvis. I thought there was a deer out there. I'm like, where is he? It's the elf. So anyhow, we pretty much chopped this tree down right here and mulched it in place right here with a wood chipper, right around the septic and all that, and then took the branches and they fit perfectly. I mean, look at this. I mean, how did this work out? I'm gonna mulch around these trees. And that's what you got. Got mulch over here too, so eventually all this will be mulched in. This guy right here, planted this last year too. This is a cherry tree. Stella cherry. This thing's gonna get huge. Yep, there it is right there. Again with the whole forest hummus under there. We digged a huge hole. And as you can see, this was all once moss, but it's all dug up. Got some wild turkeys that live out here somewhere that come up and scratch the yard. Look at this little surprise. Oh, got some spring lilies. Sweet. So anyway, all this is going to be mulched up. It's going to take a lot of mulch and a lot of work, but it'll all be worth it because you cover the soil. This is all rock. We're on the side of a mountain here. So everything is rock under here. And the reason is because it's been uncovered, it's been moved around. And all this rock just prevails. So once you cover the soil, once you cover everything back up, you'll start to have life. That's wet right there. This is all wet. And this is why they come and scratch it up. Because there's bugs and life under here. Look at that. I can smell it. It smells so good. So the idea is to cover all of this. And then the life can continue under the ground, under the soil, and then I can plant food in all of this yard. So I've got logs blocking off. This is a ravine that runs around. It's all covered with leaves right now, but there's a stream when it rains real hard that runs all the way down. So eventually I'm going to put some kind of, I don't know, maybe some type of fencing here. Just a simple wood fence. Just to try to keep deer from hopping in there once there's tons of food in here. It'll help a little. I didn't say it'll stop it. But you've got all the drains coming down here from the gutters. Wow. You could sleep on that. All right. What a blessing.